Hey everybody. You're not gonna believe this. There's like just a little bit ago, this great big ball of light just kind of came up from like over on the horizon, and it's just casting a lot of light. It's very pretty right here. And then you're really not gonna believe this. Out at like this park, there are these little creatures. They they have wings and they fly and they make all kinds of noises, and there are a bunch of them. And for some reason, you're really not gonna believe this, but I'm here and I've got these devices in the back in like a bag that record video of whatever I point it at, and I'm gonna go do that.
Fun fact, if you, the last time you went out with this camera, were recording at high frame rate, which is not slow motion, but it's at least double the amount of frames that it usually is, and you leave your camera in that mode, and then when you set up on this day, you forget to check that, you shoot all of the footage that day in that high frame rate, which works out really well for some of the tracked shots of the birds in flight catching flies and things like that. It's pretty cool. Not really what I had in mind for all of it, and the trade off there is that you don't get audio in sync with it anymore. It just records audio, but it's about half the audio you would typically get, so it's no longer going to line up. It becomes quite a nightmare to edit. So we're just going to look at some birds real quick here, what I got, and the rest of them I'll figure out if I could edit together into something else and put it up separately outside of this video.
been out a few times to this location. More than a few. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed here. I'd never come over this far though. I saw that shack a long time ago and I couldn't figure out what it was. I still don't really know what it is. Maybe a well is what they were going to start there, because it's just a little wooden covered area with a giant drum that doesn't go very deep. So could have been for that, could have been for other purposes. I don't really know a lot about it, but I do know I sat there for a while. I was sitting in front of it, watching the tree line there, watching some stuff like that. And the only lens I brought with me today was a 70 to 200, which is not very long, considering what we typically go with. But I went, it's a cine lens, which is cinema. It's got the zoom to it. And it also has a really important feature that I kind of forgot about, which is the fact that I forget the term of it even, but you set your focus and then you zoom, and it mostly keeps your focus where it's at when you zoom, which is incredibly helpful when you're one-handed trying to do this stuff, because the other hand's controlling the camera. So, very, very useful. Haven't used that lens in years. Almost never used it. Bought it thinking, well, this would be cool, and then I got it and tried it and went, 7200 is really just not enough, and that's why I'm, like with the still photos, it's 200 to 600 with an extender, a 300 millimeter with an extender. Put the extender on at one point today on the 7200, it just didn't really work out. It's the first time I think I was disappointed by an extender, which is fine. Point is, saw a bunch of stuff, just not over there. Not by the shack. Instead, it was over along by the creek. There was some by the shack for sure, don't get me wrong, but once I moved spots, kind of got back into the shade and had a big open area for this creek here, saw way more stuff. Just a bunch. I'm trying to think of what it was. I'll check the list when I get back to see if there's anything worth talking about now, as opposed to when I get to editing. But yeah, now I'm just kind of looking, fill out the list if there's anything else that I've not seen yet, and walking a little bit before I call it for today. Hard to tell white, but directly over that tree, just went under it, it's a big group of pelicans. I've seen a large amount of pelicans over at the lakes further on, not exactly on the creek, but way more than I would have expected for this place. Hmm? Huh. I got no idea. Clearly water something. Like maybe they were going to install these to move the water. There is some like concrete drainage from up there, I guess, to keep the water flowing down here and away from all the houses there. I think I've just found somebody's little hideaway, smoke spot. Not a bad place to come sit and watch some wildlife right across the river here, and you've got a lot of coverage. The things you find exploring. Fishing. Lots of fishing stuff I'm finding. Trash, unfortunately. But yeah, that would be what's going on here. Cool. Well, that answers that a bit more with the water. Ooh, catch it between the trees. Yes. Water drainage from here. That makes sense. Cool. You know, to me, all the houses are really nice and very expensive, I'm sure, but there is a very clear difference between the ones that are here, and then you get over there and there's a fence that's like, oh yeah, full stop here, and then what do they call that? Where the portcullis? Is that what? No, I forget. I don't know architecture terms, but where the house has a round section of it with many windows that extends for 2 stories at least or something. That was one key giveaway. And then the amount of their lawn and everything that was done to it was another key giveaway. And then you look a little further on and you see that they've got a private little area with a dock and a boat. And there's another lake over there. Private lake. Bet there's some good birds over there. It's a shame. But hey, that was fun to explore and learn. Well, that's angled. I didn't put the mount up or anything. I was just going to record this quick thing to explain. That was fun. That was good. Getting a reflection off of this? What's going on here? It looks weird. Doesn't matter. What's the point of this? It's funny when you can come to a place for months regularly and then just go, you know, what's over here? And opens up a whole new possibility. That's pretty cool. I am exhausted, and that's probably due to the fact that I did not sleep very well. I usually do. 90% of the time, go to bed at a certain time, wake up at a certain time, sleep through the night. Usually don't have any problems. The exception to that is on days where I eat very poorly on a cheat day, like yesterday. And then sometimes I wake up usually really dehydrated. I try to curb that and drink a lot of water in addition when I'm eating super salty food or whatever it is because it's processed and, takeout, whatever the case may be. I didn't really have that, but yeah, I woke up at 1 and was up until like 4. So that cut down about half the sleep I usually get. Didn't quite get out as early as I wanted to. Still had a great time. Came out, sat down, had the camera, set everything up, went for a walk after, recorded a bunch of birds there, and I really was just trying to go into it with an open mind of just anything will do. Because I don't know, I can't really describe it. We're approaching 8 years since I started going out with a camera. And it might be the combination of the fact that for the first time in 8 years, the past 6 months or so, I've been going regularly, weekly, multiple times a month, sometimes multiple times a day with groups, with people, and learning so much more. I've seen far more this year than any other year. That's for sure. And I'm learning a lot more. And so maybe that in combination, we just saw a bunch of new stuff yesterday. And it's not just seeing new ones, because that will run out at some point. There's no way I will continue to always see a new bird I've never seen before. That's mathematically impossible. But for now, as we move further into spring and everything, there's just, I don't know fully how to describe it besides it's just, it feels this renewed, like, yeah. And I'm just, it's partly that, and probably partly the fact that I'm tracking it differently now that I have the website that I built with all the different things, and I've been tweaking and updating it because I can just do whatever I want to there. Like I just went through and went, I want to be able to filter by the quality of it. So like when I tag something as the 3 different qualities, which is needs improvement, the vast majority of everything I've done is needs improvement, decent, or if I nailed it. I don't get too many of the nailed it ones. There's a couple that I'm particularly proud of, and it's a great way to just be like, let me see that stuff, and I can go back and look over it. So really, I need to go back through my whole history of everything I've done and find a way to find the time to get all of that sorted and detailed and all these things while staying on top of coming out and doing this. My entire schedule of like, last year it was very much one weekend, go out and shoot, next weekend, stay home and edit. That's out the window. It is every weekend as much as I can, and then the editing comes when I can fit it in little pieces here and there, or I take like a full day to edit. Not sure if I'll do that today. Probably next weekend. We'll see. I know next weekend's going to be a big one. I'm making plans. I have some plans forming, and we shall see what everything does, but I'm quite excited. And yeah, I'm really happy with what I got. Like I just anything. And that's part of what I was saying. Now that I'm tracking it differently, audio has opened up a whole other world to me. So I want everything. The more I'm thinking about it, the more it's like, why I want every bird, a photo of it still sitting there pretty, a photo of it in flight, a video of both of those things, a video of it doing something interesting behavior wise. I was watching, like I said, assuming everything can be heard, I was at the little shack there watching, and I wasn't seeing a whole lot, which kind of figures, but there was a couple things, like a female Bullock's Oriole, not one I've gotten on video before, I don't think. It's hard for me to remember. I've got a lot of them, and I want to start getting them all tracked so that I can figure out what I have, what I don't have, what I need, kind of making a wish list of like the quality and types of shots that I want to get, so I can kind of narrow down and focus on that stuff. And so I still have more to do when I run out of seeing new birds. It's not like really, yes, there was mostly common stuff over and over and over for the past few years. And I don't know. I don't know if it's the timing. I don't know if it's the fact that my eyes are just literally wider. Not literally, but with the more experience, I saw, a tanager today. I've been wanting to see those forever. Finally saw one yesterday for the very first time. Got photos of it yesterday. There was one here. Just, it's that time and they're here now, I guess. How'd I miss that the last 3 or 4 years that I've been here coming out regularly? Just never see it. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't fully explain it, but it feels like this has taken a turn, and it's a turn for the better, and it's a turn for more exciting, and it's just a lot of work. That's the only downside, is that it means coming out a lot more, and it means editing a lot more, because it's not just edit the footage, it's edit the footage and do something with it, and as well. Like, the video footage needs to be clipped out and put somewhere so then I can upload it, so I can put it on my website, so I can track it for the different things there. It means a lot more photos to edit. I probably took hundreds and hundreds yesterday. That was a really long day. That was almost 6 hours. And it was over 6 hours because I started in the morning before we met up and went through a whole thing on my own of an hour of, at one place where I didn't see all that much, saw some cool stuff, not too bad. But then we arrived there, like, I'm telling the story that's already been told because of yesterday, so that's fine. But like, the whole thing, every part of it now is just more and more exciting than it has been. This is the year for sure. Like, the last few years have been like, yeah, okay, yeah. But this is by far the year. And it's June tomorrow, so there's still half the year left. Although I hear that it typically gets, motivation and interest and like people coming out to do bird stuff. It peaks here in spring for sure, and then kind of tips out over summer when it gets real hot and the birds aren't as active and they've already finished, they migrate up north. And then when they come back, they're not as plentiful to see because they're not like out calling all the time, trying to find mates and, trying to get enough food and everything. They're more just going down south for the winter. So that is how it goes. This is the season to be peak interest and everything. And hey, I'm here for it, quite literally. So this was great. Wasn't planning on doing this. Kind of decided last minute. I came into this weekend with no real plans besides what yesterday was, and I went, we'll figure out if I even do anything on Sunday and Monday. I've definitely done something on Sunday. Monday? I don't know. Maybe I'll be editing. Maybe I'll go out again. I don't know. I'm not deciding too far in advance. I'm just having a really good time. And I'm happy that the lens I brought worked really well for what I thought. It's just, one of those things that for some reason I don't think about. And then suddenly I think about it and go, why haven't I been doing this? And it's just, I don't know, overwhelming amount of options. Was there anything else really cool today? Not particularly. Oh, I was talking about the houses. I went for a walk. I said that. And I went exploring and I found that whole other area that's down there. And I thought it was really cool. It's just in people's, more or less, the trail goes right behind their backyards. So, like, am I going to go take my camera there and stuff? Probably not. But it was cool to just walk after I dropped everything off back at the car. I just have binoculars and go for a walk. That was nice. And explore that area down there. I found some areas that, like, I can kind of tuck into right next to the creek, some fishing spots. And then I kept walking further on, and there's a fence where the trail goes up and around into someone's neighborhood where it actually starts there. But the fence that's there, I didn't record too much because somebody was out doing stuff in their yard. But the house there is ridiculous. Like, I have no concept of pricing of housing. I don't own a house, never have owned a house. At this rate, we might never own a house, but we'll see. I know the ones that are around here in these neighborhoods are clearly $500,000 to $750,000 because there are signs that say that's what they start at least that much. They're kind of close for my taste, but they're nice houses. Some of them I'm sure are well over $1 million, especially the ones that are on the lakefront property with like ridiculous balconies that you could like host, 50-person parties at these, like just huge amounts of land. All of that pales in comparison, realistically, when you get over all the way out there to where the fence was for someone's private backyard area that stretches all the way down to the creek. Their house is huge. It's got, I don't remember the term for it architecturally, but like the house is massive to itself. It may be 3 stories. It definitely was 2. I didn't count the number. I was trying not to look too hard at their house for this stuff. But like, this is a private area. I don't even know if you could get to it in any other way, but like, whatever it's called, where the house extends out. I forget if that is does that count as a portcullis? But it's got like the little round alcove. No, wait, is alcove in or out? I don't know architecture terms. I've never lived in a house that had that or anything, but like it's got those bay windows maybe. Terms are coming to me that I have no idea if it's right. I don't remember what it is, but like, yeah, it extends out like a whole, area that goes in a half circular shape up to the top of like almost like a castle at the top with the point that was there and just windows and windows and windows all over the place. And that was the first thing that I saw. I was like, oh, that house is different. Oh, that house is bigger. Oh, that lawn is like, oh, wow, that's like really manufactured. Those are like steps there. And this is like an event. This is a whole thing. And then I look further out and I'm like, oh, they've got like steps leading down to their own little private play area for, kids and stuff like that out on the creek with that. Oh, they have a boathouse. Oh, that's a private lake that this connects to. Oh, this is a mansion. Basically what it leads to. And that was my whole thing as I was just standing there going, well, I shouldn't draw attention to myself, but wow. Yeah, that I'm guessing is far more than $1 million considering what everything else is around here. That's must be nice. Must be real nice. Private lake, private bird watching, private little trail to lead you down to the creek. I wonder if they're interested in adopting a 35-year-old man-child. I'll go ask. All right, that's it for today. Fun time. I'm tired. I'm going to go take a nap.